And that's it. Inktober is over. Every page of this 31-paged hand-bound Paperchase handmade paper book is filled with an inked bird. This was definitely a challenge, as it's supposed to be, but it was more of a challenge because I was undertaking bigger pieces of artwork a day than I did last year, so it was already a challenge having to film, edit and upload videos for every day as well as doing these ink drawings, but these were just a little bit more complicated. I would just like to say how amazing this Bortoletti glass dip pen is, even, and the ink that comes with it. As you can see, this bottle has seen better days. It also is almost empty because I did keep knocking it over, and of course I used a lot of ink for this challenge. But what I will say is the Paperchase paper is amazing. I could put loads and loads of ink on it and it still will not seep through no matter how thin it feels. I've had thicker Paperchase paper, but this just does the job amazingly and I cannot fault it. And yeah, I'll do a quick flip through here. If you are new to my channel, please give every video a watch if you want to see the process. They should all be in a playlist called Inktober 2018. And give me a thumbs up if you like any of the videos, and subscribe if you want to see more in the next coming months and years, hopefully. So anyway, I'll get started. So as you can see, I used my lino cut Inktober stamp that I made last year as the front cover of this book. I'm not going to say what all the birds are because some of them I don't know. But yes, so I found my overall view of this was that at first I was really enthused. I was doing a lot of detail, things like that, and then there were some days where I was just so tired, or I just didn't have time after work, in between rugby, etc., that I felt like I was rushing some of them. So some of them I'm not very happy with, some of them I'm very, very happy with, but they're all different, they're all unique, and I really enjoyed figuring out different ways of doing the fur. So like say with this one, the feathers here are different to the feathers here, and it took a lot of getting used to trying to do the shading a little bit different for the different feathers. Yes, but I found I did develop different skills throughout this depending on the bird as well and the type of feather. I also tried to vary a close-up shot to of the face or the head of the bird, and then doing a full bird in some of these, so you will see this different. I tried to alternate that on every page if possible. I must say this one's probably my favourite. I love how fluffy I managed to make the feathers look and how detailed this bill is. I just think I managed to pull it off quite well. What I will say is it was very nice to try and figure out how to do the values, because there'd be areas on birds that were fully black, but you didn't want to do just a black flat colour, and in some of them were white, but you wanted to show there were feathers there, so it was kind of difficult and an experiment to see how line work would show these two different opposing things up when you were looking at the bird, to also make the bird look like it's supposed to. What you might see in some of these videos is I always tended to start with the eye. I don't know what it was, I just like to start with the eye and have something to work out from. I felt that was quite a nice central point to work from, and also I quite enjoyed the eye parts of it. I liked giving the bird life via the eye, if you know what I mean. This one seemed to be quite a popular one because of this wing and kind of like an action shot that I did there. All of the references are from Pexels. It's linked in the description below, bar one image which I took from a photographer on Instagram who I did ask permission for before using, so if you see him linked in that particular photograph, I think it was the puffin, if you do want to use some of his work as references, do give him an ask, or any photographers for example, because they do, you know, they take these photos and would prefer to be referenced rather than you just use their work willy-nilly. So yeah, the puffin was used from a photographer on Instagram who's quite incredible actually. You should definitely check him out. This one was quite nice to do, lots and lots of different textures, a lot of shading needed on this to develop the different angles of the areas of the cockerel. As you can see as well, my fingers have taken a battering. They are absolutely stained with ink over this last month. So yeah, my overall thoughts of this month, I've really enjoyed doing this bird series. I will definitely be doing a series again next year, a specific one rather than something different. Because if you followed me last year, I did a comic, which was quite interesting, but this was a bigger task and a bigger... I don't know, improvement of my skill, I would say, because it was teaching me a lot. I was learning a lot throughout this, and I've actually gotten commissions from doing this year, which is quite nice. Yeah, my last thoughts are, I think finding your style can be quite hard, and this has shown me that I do have a style when it comes to certain things like wildlife. I do have a very different style than certain things like paintings I would do, so it was nice to see that I had that, and it's been a very nice thing to just draw every day. I might try and continue, maybe not every day because it is very difficult, but I might try and continue doing a drawing a day just to keep, you know, my skill level increasing, and I don't know, just try and do everything. Just try and improve my drawing, really, because it does help, and I do recommend, if you are wanting to improve your skill, improve your level of drawing, to just practice every day if possible. Again, if I have Twitter and Instagram, if you want to follow me on there, you can see kind of shots of these usually before they go up on my YouTube channel, as well as all my other art. You will see a work in progress picture usually, or the final piece before the video actually goes up on my channel. So do give me a follow on those as well, and drop me a comment and we can have a bit of a chat. Just also tag me in some of your work if you want me to see some of your Inktober, because I'd love to see everyone's Inktobers. And finally, this cheeky chappy here. Again, I managed to do the whole month, and then had a bit of a casualty at the end here, but you know, it happens. I'm hoping to maybe eventually scan all these in and have them up on my Red Bull shop, so do keep an eye out for that. I'll do an announcement when that's done. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this Inktober and all the videos I've managed to put up, and all the work I've managed to do. So please give me a thumbs up if you did, and a subscribe if you want to see more. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.